Hello. In some cultures, even in the teachers, rely heavily on the wisdom of the ancestors and paying heed to the ancestry and the lineage, and yet...
Well, what all of them would like you to understand is they don't want you to remember them as they were. They want you to access them as they are. The biggest distinction between physical and non-physical is that when you make your transition, you leave behind all of the resistance that you've picked up along your physical trail. And so you become the vibrational version of all that you've gathered from it. In other words, doubt is gone, only knowing is there. Any frustration is gone, only love is there. And so as you try to replicate what you remember that you learned from your ancestors, as you read their books or try to understand what they meant and put it in the context of what you are now living, that's not working well at all for you. What we want you to understand is that there is a continuing, up-to-date, understanding version of all of them that are flowing. You are the leading edge, and all of them are on the leading edge with you in their pureness and in their fullness. The thing that they want you to know, and the thing that is really what you're asking for here, is their interest is current, and you can count on the wisdom of that current interest, you see. Humans have a distorted view often of what source is, or God is, or non-physical is. What's really going on is that life is moving forward, and it is moving forward on the aspirations and dreams and desires of those of you who are living fully out here on the leading edge, and all that is source is continuing to renew itself forward with all of you. And when you get into that flow, that's when you really feel the fullness, you see.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, let's think about someone who painted and was not revered so much while they were alive, but then later. And now is not even interested at all in what was painted, even by that person, but really enjoys painting through you. The songwriters that wrote those songs aren't singing those songs. They're singing your new songs with you. You see what we're getting at?
Mm-hmm.
That as technology moves forward, everything is coming forward, and that's where source always is. We know this is an orientation for many of you. We can feel the oddness that you are feeling in some of it. But once you get in sync with this and start exploring your own life experience and these thoughts that come to you through this framework, you will find it all fits together for you.
Thank you, Abraham. Thank you for the wonderful gift that you are in my life, and I'm going to read my question. How are we influenced by the thoughts of previous generations?
The previous generations put things in vibrational escrow, which was the basis from which you were born into. So you were born with the knowing of all of the answers to all of the questions and solutions to all of the problems that they lived. Now, how soon you allow yourselves to discover them has to do with how much you stay in the attitude of alignment. In other words, millions of people can struggle and ask for something, and one who is focused and tuned in receives an inspiration for the solution. Mm-hmm. So that's the way it works. You all have the potential of getting so in tune with who you are that your solutions come even before the problem appears. Jerry and Esther have had several experiences with their bosses that are really worth noting. They were coming from Texas on their way out to California. So they're moving out across the Texas desert. It is a beautiful landscape and a very nice road, very little traffic, one of their favorites. And Jerry said to Esther, "What do you think about stopping early today?" And Esther said, that feels like a really good idea. So they pulled into this beautiful campground and had a wonderful dinner at a little local place and a wonderful evening there. And in the morning, early, Esther turned over the big diesel engine, and it made the most awful loud sound they have ever heard from any engine. And fortunately, there was a backyard mechanic in their backyard. He was a half a block away, and Raoul came and looked at the engine and discovered that a little belt pulley had frozen up and it was not turning, and as the belts were screeching over it, it was making smoke and sound. And Raoul said, I think I can fix this. Took it to his shop and took it apart. He was gone barely more than 4 hours, came back, had the part, put it on, and off they went. Mechanical things break down. The timing of them can be influenced to a certain extent. And so the impulse to stop there was because Raoul was there, you see. So the solution to their problem came before they were even aware that they had a problem. Now, because they were tuned in, tapped in, turned on, they received the impulse. So life just unfolds in that lovely way. So they wake up in Buffalo and they're about to drive to Colorado. And Jerry said, I think I'll check the air pressure in the tires. One of the tires, the tag axle, was very low. So they drove a very short distance to a truck place and had the bus washed and all of the tires aired up. And then they drove on to Colorado. And while the bus was sitting on its space high in the mountains in Estes Park, Colorado, that tire went completely flat. That tire had a nail in it, and Jerry had an impulse for the first time in years to check the pressure. He took it and had it aired up, which was enough to get them to Colorado. And while they were sitting there, the tire had its breakdown, and they had their repair in the most comfortable of circumstances, not out on the roadway. When you achieve consistent vibrational alignment with well-being, then the universe delivers to you in vibrational alignment with that. You do not have ancestors from the past who are trying to influence you apart from what's in your own vibrational escrow. You are the creator of your experience. You're not the regurgitator. There's not someone assigning things to you.
A friend born with physical anomalies.
Well, you have to know that, and this is most significant, everyone, all this energy that's coming in has full awareness of what they're coming into. Now, often people say, oh, well, I'm certain we did not really know, or we would not have been born in that place, or to those parents, or in that body, or under those conditions. And we say, not only did you know it, but you wanted it, or you would not have come forth. In other words, sometimes people say, well, did I choose that mother? Did I really choose that mother? And we say, not in the way that from your physical form you think you're choosing. Physical humans, often, if you were choosing, you would choose what's easiest or what would be the most comfortable. But from your non-physical perspective, when you understand this whole cycle of things, you're choosing often the environment that would produce the most motion forward of your energy, because you know that whatever stirs you up and makes the stream go fast is going to be potentially a much better life experience. It's not a fun life experience to have a fast-moving stream that you're resistant of, but it's really fun to have a fast-moving stream that you're in vibrational alignment with. So you got to remember that when you made these choices, you knew about the stream and you wanted a fast stream, and contrast was not seen as a bad thing, but as a good thing. Because the value of the contrast is seen as such value, you see it differently from your non-physical vantage point. But there's another very big thing, and that is many of the energies coming forth, when you call this the time of awakening, and that's why consciousnesses coming forth are awakened and are, as always, and are understanding that in the human experience, the majority of humans today are working to change a condition so that they can feel better. And so almost everyone that's born, especially into your Western culture, is born into an environment where there is a conformity that is running rampant. In other words, almost everyone is trying to get the new ones to conform. You want to go to this school, and you want to think these thoughts, and you want to behave in these ways, and you want to study these disciplines, and you want to get your degree in this area, and you want to think these kinds of thoughts. And the energies coming forth understand so clearly that conformity is the opposite of expansion. That you want variety in order to uniquely express. And from the broader non-physical perspective, you see no danger whatsoever in being different enough that you get your stream moving, because you know that you can turn and move with the stream. So anything that your life causes you to ask for, you have the ability to create. You understand this even in your physicalness. If you are a wonderful tennis player, which matches do you enjoy the most? The one where you can beat them every time, or the one where someone evokes from you a better game than you've ever played? And that's the way you feel coming into these experiences, into these physical experiences. You're looking forward to the best game you've ever played. You're looking forward to the inspiration that calls you into the new place, you see. You're creators, and you're expansive. And when you are stagnant, you can't bear it. And when you are moving, you adore it. And when you are moving deliberately, you really adore it, you see.